So, there are several dates that I think are important to keep in mind this season because they're going to give us a good idea on how good the Yankees really are. Early season, mid-season, and late season. So I want to go over these dates, and you let me know what you think, okay? The first one is the weekend of April 20th and April 21st. Okay, they're playing the Atlanta Braves at home. Okay, gives us an idea of what the Braves are going to look like. I know it's early in the season, but with the moves that the Braves have made, bringing back some guys, bringing in some guys, and it'll give the Yankees a taste of what a good National League team is going to be like. They're not playing the Padres or the Dodgers during the regular season, so they need to see what it's like to play a top National League team. And Braves, I think, are going to be one of them. Okay, so that weekend is going to be indicative. And plus, they have Charlie Morton, who's a Yankee killer, and that lineup is a very, very good lineup. So they brought back Ozuna, and they're going to be a tough team to beat. Okay, even though the East in the National League is stacked, I still think the Braves are going to be up there, and they'll make the postseason. That's the first weekend. The next one is May 7th to the 9th. They're going to be playing Washington Nationals away in Washington. Why do I think this is important? For one big reason, and particularly since they're not facing the Padres or the Dodgers, and with the absence of, I can't think of an American League team off the top of my head that is as strong pitching 1, 2, 3 than the Nationals are. Okay, Scherzer, Strasburg, Corbin. They've got other guys too, and they brought in a bunch of solid role players. But aside from the Dodgers, aside from the Padres, maybe the Mets, I can't think of an American League team whose 1 through 3 in the rotation is that strong. So this will give them an idea on how well the lineup bats against a pitching rotation that's strong, essentially practice for the Dodgers and Padres, or the Nationals if they make it that far. But it'll also give us an idea of how well our pitching stacks up against a top pitching rotation. So I think that's another weekend. It's going to be a good idea to watch those games. After that, May 21st to the 23rd, 2 weeks afterward, they're going to be playing the Chicago White Sox at home, a top American League team. Okay, strong across the board. I think they're still a starting pitcher away, but with the moves that they've made, and they also brought in Liam Hendricks, they traded for Lance Lynn, and with the guys they already have, this will give us an opportunity to see how well they stack up against a top American League team, and which I think is important. So these series, in my opinion, are going to tell us a lot about how good the Yankees are, how far off they are, and what they need to do moving forward, and how well they're progressing from early season to mid to late. And once we start hitting the August, it'll give them an idea of what types of moves they might need to make at the trade deadline, so to face some of these top teams. After that, May 25th to May 27th, only a few days afterward, they're playing Toronto at home. Obvious, probably the top American League East rival. I think Tampa Bay will still be good, but with a likely slight regression. I think the Red Sox are going to be better than last year, but I think Toronto's probably, with the moves that they've made, with Springer and Semien and trading for Matz and boosting the bullpen, they're going to be tough to beat. They really are, and I think the gap between the New York Yankees and the Toronto Blue Jays in the American League East is probably not that wide. So we need to know how we stack up against our American League East rivals, and this is an opportunity to do it. And it's relatively early in the season, about a month and a half into the season, so it'll give us an idea, and how well they are early, and then when they play them later on in the season, we'll see how if they've improved or regressed and so on. And the same goes for Toronto. The next one after that is July 2nd to July 4th, basically July 4th weekend. They go to Citi Field to play the Mets. And actually, no, they're Yankee Stadium playing the Mets. But again, another top National League team with the moves that they've made. It's a well-balanced lineup. They brought in Lindor. They brought in McCann. They made bullpen additions. And they've also added Carlos Carrasco to the rotation. And again, this is a National League team. You got DeGrom, Carrasco, Stroman, and you've got Syndergaard coming back from Tommy John. So that rotation's going to be tough. That lineup's going to be tough. And with the addition of Lindor and some of these other guys and Kevin Pillar, they're going to be a tough one to beat too. So it's good that the Yankees get to face some of these top National League teams. At the very least, in this case, Atlanta, pretty much a lot of the teams in the National League East. I wish they faced the Dodgers and Padres, but these guys will give them a good idea on what facing a really, really good National League team is going to be like. After that, they play the Chicago White Sox again August 12th to August 14th. Let's see how well they compare to the first time. About 3 months later, we'll see we'll see who's improved, who's regressed, and so on. But we need to know what it's like, and that one is going to be in Chicago away. So we'll see how well they compare playing at home versus playing away. And last but not least, August 19th to August 22nd, they're going to be playing the Minnesota Twins at home. Another tough American League team. Most of them are in the Central. So you've got the White Sox and the Twins are probably the two most competitive teams right now in the Central. Both very likely playoff teams. And the Yankees have like a, 2,000-0 record against Minnesota in the postseason. I think they've won like 18 straight or 20 straight. But again, we need to know what they're going to be like. So streaks might end at some point. So we need to know what these top American League teams look like. So this is the list of series that I think are important to keep an eye out for this weekend. Obviously, other teams are important too, but these I think will be very telling. They'll tell us a lot about how the Yankees stack up against the other teams, how the other teams stack up against the Yankees, and what the Yankees need to do moving forward, and what moves they might need to make moving forward. They still might make a move or two. I mean, spring training is here now, and there's still a lot of guys out there, and the Yankees have a little bit of money to spend, but they may save that money for the deadline. Who knows? They have brought in some more pitching depth, and we'll see what happens. But these series right here are the ones I think to watch this season. So, you let me know what you think. Put your feedback in the comments down below. I want to know if there's any other teams that you think we should look out for and so on. Let's have a dialogue about these series. I will be reviewing these series after they're done as well to see to go about it and stuff like talk about it and see how well the Yankees stack up. So, by the way, if it's your first time to the channel, welcome. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoy the content, and hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed the video as well. It's really helpful to the channel's growth, so I appreciate your support, whether you're new or have been with me from the beginning. Have a great week. Talk to you then.